Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be showing you the goat enclosure because you've not had a proper tour of it, and we're planning on making a few changes in the future. So I thought I'd do one now and then I can do an updated one when everything's been changed. So let's head on in and I'll show you the goats. So for those of you that haven't met my goats before, we have a little herd of 3 goats. Over there we have Daisy, then we have Daffodil and Dolly just behind. So these are our 3 boa goats, and although I've introduced you guys to them before, I didn't give you a full tour of their enclosure, so that is what we're going to do today. So the goat enclosure consists of a very large paddock and a goat house that we'll come on to at the end. So in the very middle of the enclosure we have the goat table. Now this is the number one thing that they love in the entire enclosure. They are always jumping up and off of here. We used to have some bales underneath that looked really nice, and they used those to climb on when they weren't really sure about the height of this. But now they literally leap from the floor onto the table. Goats really love climbing and they love having a vantage point, so this is absolutely perfect for them. It is literally just the old farmhouse table that we had years ago that we popped in here for them. So as you can see, the goats are very confident around the table now. They did have bales around the bottom which they have completely destroyed by rubbing on and jumping on and pouring and eating, so it looks a little bit of a mess. Off they go. But as you can see, the goats absolutely love jumping up there. They're very agile. They kind of, when they get a bit feisty and start really playing, they headbutt each other off of it. It's just a natural behaviour for goats. As you can see, Dolly's getting quite excited now, and that's just what they do. And then they use it to jump off and run around the enclosure. It is so fun to watch when they're having their little mad half hour. So around the paddock, the goats have actually created themselves a little track that they like to go on, and they literally run around. It's so funny. So they have some rocks in their enclosure. They're not the biggest, but they'll do for now. We're going to get them some big rocks eventually, but these are just for them to kind of help keep their hooves down. They actually come and stand on these a lot. Obviously we trim their hooves, but that's what those are for. And then as we look further on this side, so they have things like tyres. We put treats in these, so it's actually got some water in because it's been raining, but when there's not water in these, we put treats on the inside, which is a really good enrichment tool. So these come in really handy because the goats have to really try and work on these to try and find their treats and things like that. And then over here we have some more things for them to climb on. So we just pop old bales in here. Eventually I'm going to get some pallets and make some benches and some tables and things for them to climb on. So that's what these are. But for now we have these, and then these are what we call our stepping stones. So the goats love to jump on these and then go from one to the other, and they jump across the spaces. And then again over here, what are you doing, girlies? And then over here they've got another one. These are ready for changing, so obviously with the weather they get a little bit soft. This one's not too bad. But yeah, these are ready for changing now because they've been in since the girlies came. And then they have 2 feed bowls. So again, goats need quite a bit of enrichment, and we put some feed in here for them, which I'll probably do in a minute. And then they can knock these about as they want and get some treats out. I've not filled them up yet. So the girls absolutely love food. It's their number one thing they adore. So we've got another bowl here for them, which again has some food put in. Hello. This is where we would feed them something communal, but as you can see, the rainwater's in here, so let's empty that out. So when that's dry and clean is when the girls have some food in there. Sometimes we use that for enrichment as well, like putting things in there and then putting food in it as well. So like filling it with hay and then putting food in, so they have to work harder to get at the food. And then over here we have their feed buckets, so they are split between these 2 buckets. We try them with 3, but they're actually better with 2 for some reason, because 2 of them fight, but 2 of them like to feed from the same bucket, because Daisy, no, that's Daffodil, and Daisy are sisters, so they like to eat together, but Dolly was a single, so she's a bit more bossy and is trying to eat the laces on my boots. So finally we have the goat house. Now this we had specifically made for the goats. It's basically a big version of the pigsties, which you can see the piggies are next to us here. So I'll start with the outside of this. So on the outside of the building we have the girls' outdoor hay rack. They don't normally eat out of this as often. They normally use the one inside, but today it would appear that they're going to make me out to be a liar, so they're eating out of it, but that just has some hay in there for them that they nib on throughout the day. And then over here, if you've seen on a recent vlog, I made this scratching post. So this is just a post that's outside of their enclosure anyway, and I put some brushes on for the girls to rub up against. As you can see from the hair on here, they have been using it, so that is very good. You gonna show us around, Dolly? Get off my boots. So this is the entrance to the goats' enclosure. Normally they just have the bottom door open and then the tops closed to keep out wind and rain and things like that. Yeah, I know I changed it. The goats are extremely inquisitive, so because I've changed that, she's just having a little moment. What are you doing? So in here is their safe space. This is their favourite place to chill and come and relax. So this is what it looks like. I can't remember the exact measurements of the goat house, but it is pretty big. So we have rubber matting for them on the floor under the straw. That's so that it's nice and comfortable for them. And the goats are very messy, so this gets emptied out every single week. All of this straw is emptied, so to keep sort of the beddings down so that they don't need a massive bed, we've got rubber matting all across this floor. And then in here is the hay rack that they actually use. So they eat out of the top of it, but they rub up the side of it, as you just saw. Hence why there's a bit of goat fur chilling on there. But this is their hay, which they come and eat during the day. What's this? Synchronized goat moves. And then over here they have a lick in the corner, which is kind of just being ignored now. And then this is their water drinker. So they have a automatic water drinker outside, and they have one in here as well. So this one, the goats actually chewed through on the very first day they came, because it just had the pipe there, and we didn't really think. So my dad had to clad all the piping in, which is why it's got this little box going on. So yeah, that is their automatic water drinker there, and that is the goat house. They always come in here if it's raining or anything like that, because these goats are notorious for hating rain, and my girls really don't like it. Ever get the feeling you're being followed? I'll go put some food in it. So while I'm here, I'm going to show you the goats' organisation. So they've got their gate there, their house here, and then down the side, outside of their enclosure, we have 2 tubs. So this one contains their muesli mix, and then that one contains their goat nuts. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of their muesli mix in their bowls. Pickle seems to think he's getting in on the action. I'll give the pig something afterwards. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of this in here. So because a lot of the time the goats just get fed in buckets, they're not the best with the bowls. It takes them a little bit of working out. Okay guys, so that is the end of the goats enclosure tour. As I said, I'm going to be making a lot more updates to this soon, which I will obviously film when I get a chance. So I'll be doing an updated tour when we've made all the improvements, but I thought I'd show you kind of the basic goat enclosure that we've started with. They have got everything that they need in here. They could do with a few more climbing things, just because even though they love the table, it's only like one thing that's really big that they can climb on, so we need to build a few more things in here for them for a bit more enrichment. But yeah, that is the goat tour. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if you have, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye guys!